Hi everyone, it's Miss Adine. Today I'm making part one, a setting for my visual story. My story is going to be part stop frame animation in a sense and part storybook. So I'm creating a setting which is outside, it's mountains, and I'm using a lot of lines to add depth, and because I want it to be really bright and I want it to be sort of graphic. I decided not to color it in with solid colors, but to use a lot of lines to add that texture. I am paying attention to the elements of art that we went over, and I love lines. I think they're really fun. So a lot of repeating lines in different colors. So for the mountains that are furthest from me, I'm doing some purple. So I'm working on a large sheet of paper. You can do this in a sketchbook and have each page be a different scene. Right, for every scene, it can be, the outside of a house, inside a house, a close-up. It can be a lot of different things. We just need to make 2 or 3 in total. Here I'm doing some green. You'll notice that, creating a setting is not super quick. The smaller you do it, the faster it is. But when you're adding details and you're creating texture, it takes time. The more time you spend on it, the more detailed it will be, and the better your end result will be. Remember, art is not about being fast. It's not about having a race or being done first. There's no winner for being done first. In this, I'm using just different permanent markers I've gotten at Staples, some Sharpies, and some big pens, the Intensitude or Intense pens with permanent markers. Any permanent markers will do. If you wanted to, you can even use Crayola markers. Anything with bold, bright colors. If you did this with crayon or colored pencil, it would work as well, or you could mix all of them together. For different settings, I might wind up using different materials. I haven't decided yet. So in here you can see that I had orange and yellow, and I'm adding different oranges and yellows to it so that the colors stay the same for that one shape. So it's sort of like layered mountains, and each one has its own color scheme. I decided that I'm not going to color in the entire background. I like the white. I think it makes my colors stand out a lot. So the colors you use for the setting can be similar throughout each one you make, or they can be different depending on what you wanted to do. If I wanted to keep my characters on this mountains, but I wanted it to go from daytime to nighttime, then I could redraw this and make the background dark night and have some stars and the moon, right? If that's for a different time of day. If I want to do seasons, I can actually draw trees on something different or flowers on something different and place them on top, just like I'm going to do with the characters. So this is sort of like a puzzle or stop frame that the background's going to be the same and the figures and some details are going to be cut out that are placed on top and that get moved without being glued down. Now when you make your setting, it's important that your setting has the detail you want so that when people look at it, they know what it is that they're looking at. The more color and the more layers I add, the nicer this is. I think the more my mountains pop out and look the way I want them to look. So as I work, I'm thinking about my colors and my choices, where I'm putting my lines. I'm putting them in between. They're not really overlapping. Some are closer than others. They're not, evenly spaced. And there's something about lines and bright colors that always makes me really happy. Whatever it is that makes you happy is sort of the way you should work this. If you like to smear colors and to blend colors or to have a lot of red, then that's the way you should draw it. I'm looking at it and I'm deciding like what else I'm going to add at the same time. So although I'm putting the green in, I'm thinking as I work what is going to be happening above and sort of behind my mountains. So I'm almost done with these, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be adding some clouds. So although it's a really sunny day, or not a sunny day, but let's say a bright day, because I'm not going to be putting the sun in here, I'm going to be making it really bright with these colors. I'm going to add some clouds because there are clouds on bright days as well. There's a lot of repetition in line making when you use texture as a basis for an image. So I think that marker will work a little bit better than color pencils because color pencils might not stand out that much. But whatever you decide to use, whether it's crayons, color pencils, or markers, or a combination of them all, just make sure that it's clear and that we can see, and that if you're using lines, they go in one direction and they are not scribbly looking. Because this is all lines, but yet nothing looks scribbled. Right? Even when I'm going through and I'm working quickly, I'm following the shape of the mountain I'm working in. And I'm changing the colors to go with the section I'm working on. And I'm really liking the way this looks. So I'm almost done. I'm moving on to my clouds. And first I'm just putting them where I want. So this is pretty balanced composition. The left and right side of my picture look even. If I only had clouds on one side and mountains on the other, it would be more asymmetrical. But this is pretty well balanced, meaning that my entire paper is evenly covered and looks visually balanced. And again, I'm using the same sort of mark making, so it's consistent throughout my entire image with the same width of lines and sort of the same feeling. I'm not changing the color for any of my clouds. The clouds are all going to be that same blue. And I'm doing that for consistency. And I like the blue because it's sort of bright. It doesn't make you think that it's going to rain. It could be that it did rain or they're just passing through. But I think that they fill up my space nicely and add some more details that I needed. I think it would have looked really empty had I not paid attention to my sky. Now, if you're coloring your sky in, it's important to remember that there's no stripe at the top. That whatever the sky is the color of the sky from as far up as you can see all the way to where it touches the ground. So this is about the end of my video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like it, hit the like button and subscribe. If you have any questions, let me know what they are. I'd be happy to answer them. See you soon.